Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Nerd Buffet Podcast. My name is Jake.
And I'm Tommy.
It's very nice to have you with us today. We're going to get right to it because we've got a lot to talk about and not a lot of time. So first things first, I think we should talk about tonight is WWE Battleground.
Yes.
It is we do have a very own show with just wrestling, and of course we'll be recapping this later, what happened tonight. But right now I think we should do maybe some predictions, maybe talk about kind of a lead up to what's going to be happening tonight. First off, we have a kickoff show with the Usos and Breezango. I couldn't care less about this match myself.
No, I like Tyler Breeze, but besides that,
yeah,
I don't care really.
Yep. So I guess we'll just move right along and not talk about that anymore. We also have the New Day versus the Wyatts. I'm really excited for this match. That we had the whole final deletion ripoff thing.
It's a non-title match, right?
I think it's for the title. I didn't really check. We'll find out tonight, I guess.
I think it's non-title because they said it's not in danger of swapping shows.
Okay.
So,
the one thing that is in danger though is Xavier Woods.
His soul.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been afraid. He had to fight Bray 1-on-1 on Monday Night Raw, and that didn't work out too well for him.
No.
And I think if something's going to start going down, we're going to get another step forward in this story. I think tonight's the night to do so.
Tonight's the night for a lot of first steps in stories.
Well, and last steps.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of first steps, we have Charlotte and Dana Brooke. I don't know if you knew about this or if you heard.
Sasha Banks gets to pick a partner.
Yeah.
Or, does she get to pick a partner? Or
She gets to pick. It's a mystery partner. So, speaking of first steps, you think this is Bayley?
I don't know. I've read that Bayley says it's not her, and Sasha Banks both said it's not her. So,
but what if it is, Tommy?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what a lot of people want, but then again, we know how WWE operates, so it's most likely not going to be something we want.
Right. If not...
Eva Marie, probably.
Well, okay. Realistically, if you don't get Bayley... Realistically, who do you think it is? Or are you serious with saying Eva Marie?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nia Jax is on the main roster now. Eva Marie's on the main roster now.
Yep. So is Carmella.
Carmella is on the main roster. I'd say any of those three are good chances, actually.
And it wouldn't be...
Bayley.
What's the other one? Alexa Bliss?
Oh, yeah, Alexa Bliss. I forgot about her.
She's on the main roster now,
God,
too.
I don't know how I forgot about her.
I don't know how you forgot about her either.
But any of those four.
Yeah. And then the next match that's listed on here, we have Becky Lynch versus Natalya. I guess we really haven't done much picking on who we think's going to win. I really think Natalya's actually going to take that match.
You think so?
I think so.
Becky's kind of been crapped on lately.
You're absolutely right. But I think maybe next month might be the month for her to come back.
Carver's
one to talk about wrestling too, and we're just not giving him a chance.
Well, he's more of a Hulk Hogan fan.
Yes,
so he's mad.
I can kind of get that from him. Whenever you prioritize too much time towards women or people that aren't of the same ethnicity as Hulk Hogan, he. Just kidding. That was my small stab. I love Hulk Hogan though. But anyways, getting back, I think Natalya's gonna win because we gotta have some bad guys winning here and there in this card. And from what I'm looking at, there's not gonna be a whole lot of bad guys winning elsewhere.
I could see that.
I see the Wyatts winning, and I see Natalya winning. And then maybe going on to the next match. No, I don't see them winning. We've got John Cena with Enzo and Cass versus the Club. That's one that I really don't know who's going to take that.
No, but I'm I'm betting on a good match, though. It'll be awesome.
And I don't think that this story, even if it's a great match, this is the kind of thing. This is one of the things that sucks, because John Cena is part of SmackDown now, and Enzo and Cass are Raw. The Club are all.
The Club's on Raw, right? And AJ's on SmackDown.
Yeah. So
no, AJ's on Raw.
AJ's on SmackDown.
Oh,
he was the second pick.
Okay, yeah, and then the Club's on Raw. Then.
Right. So we're not really going to get to see this continue on. I mean, separately they probably will. You'll probably get to see Enzo and Cass fight the Club again next month,
and
you'll get to see Cena and AJ.
John Cena
right,
still.
Right, beating him up. So I mean, I don't really know who takes it. I guess getting back to the bad guy thing, maybe that makes sense for the Club to win, and then let your good guys win it at SummerSlam. I don't know.
Maybe if it carries on through SummerSlam.
Brings us. We've got 3 title matches tonight, which is going to be crazy with all the ideas of this brand split, like who's going where, what's going where. U.S. Championship, Rusev versus Zack Ryder.
Yeah, Rusev's on SmackDown, Zack Ryder's on Raw.
Yes.
So this is an opportunity for the title to switch shows.
Yes. And then I'm not sure where The Miz and where Darren Young are.
On the card, yeah.
No, I'm saying which shows they went to.
They're still they're on opposites. I think Miz is Raw and Darren Young SmackDown.
Okay, because Rusev was SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because they did separate the U.S. and the Intercontinental. Yep. Right.
So it's another opportunity for the title switch shows.
This is the one and only match that I'm like, I know exactly who's going to win this. I know Darren Young is going to win. Because there's no way that they get Bob Backlund to go out there for, the second or third time and not win the match.
For about a month.
Right. I don't know. I think that's in the bag.
Do you think that's there'll be shenanigans with?
I think Backlund actually probably does perform some shenanigans.
I think so too.
Of course, I almost missed. We have the highlight reel. Chris Jericho is going to be hosting with Orton.
The first time we've seen Orton on TV for a few months.
Yes. Hopefully Vince lets him come on TV if he's not too overweight.
Yeah, if he's not just terribly fat and can't be seen on TV.
I don't know why it was so crazy, because there was the big rumor last year or the year before that Orton was being held off of TV from an injury, but he was being held extra because he gained weight or something.
Yeah, gained weight off his injury. He was on a couple live shows and wasn't on TV. And you and I both saw pictures of him from the live shows, and we're like, he's not fat.
No. Well, he can't. He comes out the very next, right after the whole controversy came onto the internet. 2 days later, he was at the next pay-per-view. And he looked almost better than he'd ever looked before. And we're just like, get that fat guy off our screen, just...
How dare WWE make us look at that fat, out-of-shape person?
Yeah. And, of course, we have the title match. The main event is the Shield Triple Threat with, of course, the return of Roman Reigns. Lots of controversy.
Yeah, Roman Reigns coming back after being off TV for a while. He did come back to a live event on Friday, I think it was.
I am scared. I've even seen memes today. One had Seth Rollins said, when you wake up today thinking about how many boos Roman's going to get, I'm scared for the guy tonight.
Yeah, you think...
I would be very scared for his life if he leaves tonight as champion.
You think he still comes out through the crowd tonight?
He hasn't come out through the crowd for a long time.
Has he not? I haven't.
No, not for a long, long time. I don't even remember the last time
since he's been champion, probably.
Oh man, it was before that. I would almost say almost a year it's been.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not kidding, man.
I just haven't paid
That's how much
to Roman Reigns, so.
But I think I stand by my opinion. I think Dean's gonna hold on to that. My other idea I told you, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's going to be shenanigans for sure.
The way you finish this match, because we're thinking here at Nerd Buffet, we are thinking that you split the titles tonight. The way you split them, you're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Well, more than 2 birds, but Number 1, you're going to punish Roman. Number 2, you're going to split the titles. Number 3, both Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins will hold those titles, so the fans will be happy.
They both get to go over.
Right.
Roman.
So the way they're going to go over is somehow or another, I think Roman's going to end up on his back, and Dean and Seth are both going to pin him at once. Have we ever seen anything like that?
Yeah, definitely.
It's happened before?
It has happened before. I can't tell you specifics, but I have seen it before. I don't think they split the title because of it, but I've seen...
But now they could,
yeah,
now that
they
it's
could
convenient.
now. Yeah.
Okay. So, I think that's about it for tonight. I really think it's actually going to be a good show. There's certainly a lot of build up to this. I really still can't believe they're doing the Shield triple threat already, but hey, we've got it. I can't complain.
Yeah, they definitely are. I don't know if they're doing it too soon, because they probably should have done it sooner. I actually think they should have done it sooner.
Oh, you thought sooner? Okay.
Yeah, because they're kind of having to remind people at this point about the Shield.
About the turn and who they used to be.
That's all the Battleground promos have been.
I'd agree because Dean cut a promo before Monday Night Raw or on Monday Night Raw, where he was back in a cellar or something or in a boiler room. You know, they used to do that.
Yeah.
He cut a promo like that. I don't know if you remembered it or if you saw it, but I was like, hey, look, it's the Shield. He's the Shield guy still because Roman, he's like one of those high school kids that is no longer in high school, and you've been graduated from high school 10 years, and they're still wearing their Letterman jacket.
Yeah,
that's Roman Reigns to me because he's like,
he still has.
I got
Shield
my Shield
tags.
stuff because Shield, and that's what I'm holding on to. That's the only reason people that do like me.
His character hasn't evolved from
No.
anything since the Shield separation. So
No. Well, I think we're good. Going to be good with that. We'll get back to you on, of course, what happened. We'll report more of that. For right now, I think that we've got a lot of things to talk about as far as movies go. We saw some things this week.
Mm-hmm.
Comic-Con was this week, so there's a lot of trailers out. First of all, though, I got to ask you, you finally bought Overwatch.
I did buy Overwatch.
What are you thinking so far?
Well, we've been playing Overwatch a lot together, so you know what I think. I like it a lot.
Well, the people don't know what you think yet.
Oh, the people. Yeah, I really like Overwatch. Like I said, I'm not big in the first-person shooters, but after you told me what you did about it not mattering, like how long you've played it, all the weapons stay the same. It's based just on skill, so I really like it. I've been able to actually do some things in matches and help my team. So, and
much to my chagrin, most of the time, more than me, you get play the game, and it pisses me off because I'm like, I did good, but I want to be the play of the game.
Yeah, I'm able to use the mechanics to get a lot of multi kills, and I think that's what the play of the game is based on a lot. So.
Yeah, I guess tell the people who do you like to play as and why.
I really like to play as. I played as Diva quite a bit the other day. And I like her because you have kind of a second chance. If your mech goes down, you can hop out and kind of run around and try to get another mech build up for yourself.
Yeah.
And I play as the dwarf guy, Troberhorn, or I don't know how you pronounce it.
Torborn, I think. I don't know how it's...
He gets to build turrets and stuff, which is really nice for defending places, and you get a lot of cheap play of the games for that because your turret does a lot of the work. So
he, honestly, I think so far with playing with you, whenever you're playing as him, at least I can see, because it's hard to see what other people are doing and to appreciate what everyone else is doing for the team, because it's all about teamwork. Because if you have a bunch of hotheads on your team, you're not going to do it very well at all.
It is all about teamwork. The game even says you have too many of this class of character. You need to diversify your team a little bit so you don't get owned by other people who are actually working as a team.
But it's nice, especially when you play as him, because I usually lately I've been playing a lot as Bastion. And so I know when I set up as a turret and you go somewhere else and you set up a turret, like it's really nice because I'll be like, hey, can you cover me over there? And you're like, boom, 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 fix a turret up. It's like, oh, my friend, and then you throw me armor on the way out.
Oh yeah, throwing with Torbjorn, or how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
He can pick up scrap and make armor, and that's one of my favorite things to do. Is like run around the map, just throwing armor to people.
I hear, because we'll be on private chat or whatever, we'll have our headsets on, and I'll just hear, you need armor? Here. You need armor? Here. You need armor? Here. And I'm like, my friend.
So yeah, that's a really fun party game. Well, game to play with your friends.
Yeah, we've got at least one other friend that's been playing in like party chat with us so far, and since we're both kind of starting to play it more, if you play the game, let us know. We'd be glad to party up with you and do some teamwork.
But only on Xbox One.
Yes.
We don't play that garbage PS4 thing. So.
No, trash. Xbox One Master Race. So we do have, like I said, a lot of movies to talk about and news in that category, in movie category. We watched Star Trek Beyond on Thursday. It was the third in the series. I don't remember a lot of the second one because I was kind of in and out of passing out while I was watching it.
Yeah, you don't need to know a lot about what happened in the second movie to enjoy the third one.
Absolutely. The one and only thing I remember from the second movie is that it was like the Wrath of Khan. The one scene of Wrath of Khan that I saw where he yells Khan, but it was the other guy that yelled Khan for the same reason.
Yeah, it was spoiler alert.
Spoilers. Sorry,
the bad guy in Through Darkness. Was it Through Darkness or Into the Darkness?
Into Star Trek Into the Darkness, I think.
Okay, but anyway, the second new Star Trek movie was Wrath of Khan, essentially. So
yes, with Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan.
But the new movie,
new movie was
Beyond, was excellent. I really enjoyed it. As an ensemble cast, you think of Kirk and Spock being the main characters. This movie, not so much. I mean, they still were the main characters, but equal amount of focus was on Bones and Scotty and Sulu. Not so much Sulu, but Bones and Scotty had a big part in this movie.
There were Bones. I think the very first thing we said to each other when I turned over after the movie was, I said, "Man, Carl Urban was really good in this movie."
Yeah, and I said I didn't realize that was.
He didn't realize in the other movies that Carl Urban was in it. And I said, "How could you? Like, it's Carl Urban. Like, Carl Urban, one of the most underrated actors, I would say."
Yeah, I was really impressed. I really liked him in all the Star Trek movies, but I guess I didn't realize
it was him.
It was him, I guess, somehow. I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, Judge Dredd, he had his face covered the whole time.
And instead of a straight face like human people have, he like that all
his
the time.
Chin out and frowning all the time. So
I don't know how he did that in Dredd. Speaking of that, your face, I think you would get permanent frowning wrinkles.
Just a permanent scowl.
But, I mean, much to his credit, he looked and it felt like Dredd. Not that I'm a big comic fan, but I mean, I know from the internet enough people complaining that, hey, this wasn't Dredd. Like, Sylvester Stallone ruined Dredd, and then this was Dredd. Make a sequel to it, is what we're saying.
Yeah, please get a sequel to Dredd. That would be awesome.
Back to Star Trek, though. You have a very good point with one of the things I was going to turn and say to you during the movie is I was going to say, this doesn't feel like, what's his name is the main character. It feels like everyone's the main character.
Yeah.
Like it's an ensemble, like you said.
Like Kirk wasn't the main character like he has been.
And about halfway through the movie, that turns around. You can tell he's obviously like the protagonist of the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
But throughout most of it, it was really that I want to go see it again. And then this is something that I'll be glad to buy on Blu-ray just because it is wholly rewatchable. And even if it was the first, maybe a few different things in the story would have had to change, but it was a kind of like a quintessential action movie, it felt like.
Yeah.
I guess is the best way of putting it.
There's a kind of a fresh bad guy. As far as I know, this villain hasn't had anything to do with Star Trek before.
Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, you knew by the end, obviously, because you see his face. But
his voice is kind of distinctual, too, so...
Yeah. I really wish Savannah would have gone with us because I would have been like, hey, it's Idris Elba. Like, every time I'm talking about Idris Elba, this conversation happens. Hey, it's Idris Elba. Who's Idris Elba? Shere Khan. Oh, that guy? Every time. Where are you going to rate this movie? 5-star scale.
I'm 4.5.
4.5?
It's really good. It's my favorite Star Trek movie.
It was my favorite Star Trek movie, too. I'm going to be a little more harsh. I'll go just a 4.
Just a 4.
So that gives it a 4.25 average for us. Still very fresh.
Very good movie.
Yes.
And Scotty, you think Scotty gets the girl at the end?
Scotty gets the girl!
Yeah.
Dude, that was... Kirk, because I'm like wanting to say so many things at once. I'm so excited for Scotty. So... Throughout the movie, the few little things we say back and forth that we can hear in the theater, because we try not to talk too much because we'd ruin the movie for everyone else. But we said when as soon as the girl came up, Tommy said, "Oh, now Kirk's gonna get her too," because Kirk's a ladies' man. I mean, let's be honest.
It's to explore far new planets and meet the population and bang all their women. Is Kirk's motto.
Right. But, spoiler alert, it kind of seems like Scotty's the one who's going to get to bang that woman, at least. I guess that's what you want to bring it down to.
It very much seems like at the end of the movie, Scotty has a very good connection with the new girl, the alien girl. I don't remember her name.
I don't remember her name earlier.
Jara.
She was cool. Like, I'd never seen anybody her race, I guess.
Yeah. It was... like a lot of new races in this movie, so I guess it's called Beyond because they are exploring new.
There were a lot of really cool things in the movie. I'm not a Trekkie by any means. I could count the number of minutes I've watched the TV show on 2 hands. After some other, when I was a kid, it was always on after another show, and I was like, okay, I don't want to watch this. I never gave it a chance. So I'm not saying it's bad, but. At the beginning, Kirk says something about, my life is starting to feel a little episodic. Mm-hmm. I thought that was pretty funny. Of course, that's what the joke was, and it wasn't a big, it wasn't a big inside joke.
All these Star Trek movies have had really awesome throwbacks to the original series. Mm-hmm. And this movie's no exception. Like what you said with him saying his life's starting to feel episodic after spending 5 years in space. Spoilers... Spock died in real life.
Yeah.
His name escapes me.
Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy died in real life, so he couldn't be a part of this film. But they addressed that in the movie by saying his character died. Ambassador Spock died.
Because of the, alternate timeline?
Yeah, both Spocks exist in the same universe now.
Yes.
He had died, which affects Zachary Quinto's Spock, makes him depressed a little bit during the movie, and he ends up in possession of his belongings. And he opens up like a picture, like a holograph picture.
Because he's contemplating, he wants to be like the other Spock.
He's going to quit the Enterprise, quit Starfleet, and become ambassador for Vulcan, since Vulcan's been destroyed. Mm-hmm. But he's going through old Spock's belongings.
Like his most personal belongings. Yeah. That's really important to this.
And he opens up this... like data pad type thing, but it turns out just to be like a digital photograph, basically. Of
the old crew.
And it's the old crew with, William Shatner's Kirk and...
And it's crazy when I looked at that picture and it's like halfway through the movie when that happens. I'm like, man, they did a good job of casting all these people.
Oh, yeah.
Because they actually kind of look like the old crew in a way, or, Another real life thing that affected the movie that was really cool, I thought. The kid that played from Harold and Kumar, that what's the character that he's playing?
Sulu.
Yeah. George Takei's character.
Yeah,
Sulu. George Takei is a big ambassador of like the LGBTQ community. Is it LGBTQ? Did I nail that on the first try?
When I was growing up, it was LGBT, and I think they added the Q later.
I don't even know what the Q stands for.
Queer.
But, okay. That's weird because that's supposed to be a bad word to say. I don't get it, but
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how the world today. Anyways, my point being, they made his character in the show gay.
Yeah,
And they made him like he had a husband.
They didn't make a big deal about it, but
It was really cool. It was kind of a nod to him and kind of like a thank you. Thank you for what you've done as being in real life an ambassador for this group of people.
But it was cool they didn't make a big deal about it in the movie, because in that time period it's accepted.
Because there's diversity all amongst everyone. I mean, there's interspecies.
Yes, diversity.
Right.
Yeah. They had like a post-credit thank you and dedicated to Leonard Nimoy and the what's the kid's name? Anton Yelchin.
Who played the Russian kid? I can't remember
Yeah.
his character's name.
But he had died in real life. He had a car accident and died.
His name is Beyond Me. Last thing I really want to say regarding this movie, something that was really cool about it, there wasn't a whole lot of like knowledge needed in order to go into this third movie.
No,
because it wasn't like, hey, we're going to this planet and this planet and this planet and this planet. There was, we're here, we're driving, we wrecked, and then the whole movie takes place in this one spot. And it was kind of like basically a hunt down movie, like don't get killed,
Yeah,
I guess. That kind of brings me. Let's talk about. We had another really big release on Tuesday. The physical copy of Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition came out.
world's longest title for.
Yes. I got to watch mine. You didn't get to see Ultimate Edition yet.
I didn't get to watch the Ultimate Edition. I haven't had 3 hours to sit down yet.
I made 3 hours to sit down. And my friend, I gotta say, I'm glad I made the 3 hours time. I'm actually thinking about sometime this week watching it a second time, the whole 3 hours.
I will watch it this week sometime, for sure.
There's a lot of things that make more sense in this. If you didn't like the original version of it, you're probably not going to like this because it's just more of the same. It's just a longer version of the movie. Do you want me to talk more about that, or is it going to ruin it for you?
Extended fight scenes and.
The one fight scene that I can think of that is extended, the best fight scene. You know what I'm talking about in reference. When Batman just pummels the hell out of everybody. Mm-hmm. Do you remember he gets stabbed and then he stabs the guy back?
Yeah.
So in the movie, I think he stabs the guy and the guy falls down, not dead because he stabs him in the shoulder, but he gets knocked out or whatever from the pain. In the extended cut, it's not much longer, but it's like, oh my God, Batman, what are you doing? You're a monster. He stabs him and it pins him against the wall, and he stands there and like has to watch his friends get finished and killed and maimed by Batman. And then Batman walks up, like stops and looks at his arm and looks at the guy's arm and being pinned up there, and it kind of is like, you stabbed me, now you're going to pay. And he reaches down, like you just see his hand, like his eyes go down and his arm goes down, and you hear the guy scream, and it cuts to the next part. Like, Batman, did you just crush that guy's balls or something? Or like, what? Because usually Batman breaks arms and legs and necks sometimes.
And
ribs. But I've never seen Batman break balls. But dude, you've got to watch it. It fills in lots of the cracks. I think maybe next week we'll talk about it more, about the bigger changes in that. So we'll give you time to watch it. And if you haven't picked it up yet and you liked the original movie, this is much better. As a big fan, I loved it.
Speaking of Batman and Superman, with Comic-Con this week, there's the big trailer released with Justice League.
Yes. We watched it together. You know that I squealed like a little girl when I was watching it. I giggled.
Squealed before.
Yeah, I said, "Oh my God, we gotta start watching this. We gotta start watching it." And we put it on. I think you were playing a game. I said, Tom, stop.
Yeah.
Stop now. And I giggled through the thing. I was like ready to see fights through the thing. You know, it looks like everything that was wrong about Batman and Superman no longer exists and has been fixed.
It looks fun.
Oh my God, yeah,
It looks a lot of fun. There was a lot of jokes in the trailer and a lot of like action, and not a lot of action, but you know what I'm saying, like a lot of.
Mm-hmm. Everyone looks cool. There's nobody there that you're like they're out of place. They can't exist in this world, or they can't. What I'm getting at is Aquaman doesn't look stupid. DC's done a good job in the last few years of making Aquaman not suck, I guess is the best way of putting it.
Superman wasn't in the trailer.
No, he was not. You're absolutely right. I didn't even think about that. Maybe that's why I like the trailer so much. So I giggled through the whole thing. I thought it was awesome. Like you said, Superman wasn't in it. I do want to see Superman in it. I hope.
He will be.
Yeah. It's not going to be called Justice League without Superman.
Right.
Because you can't. There are two people that you can not. You have to have Batman and Superman to call it Justice League.
You have to have the Trinity.
Wonder Woman. Yeah, I would argue Wonder Woman too. You got to have those three, but you can interchange. Is Green Lantern just not going to be in the
I don't
Justice
know.
League?
I'm guessing not. I haven't seen him.
A lot of other people that have been in the Justice League too. But that was my favorite thing in the trailer. Even though the whole trailer was my favorite thing, because I think they make a movie that's anything like that trailer, just take all my belongings. I'll just I want to go see it now. Of course, that's like summer 2017 though.
Yeah,
or something like that.
And they also had a new Wonder Woman trailer.
Yeah, what I was going to say, my favorite thing was seeing all of them together.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at, is just the shot of like, oh my God, on camera, we're seeing all of these guys together, and it doesn't look stupid or goofy or campy. It looks fun, as you said. Wonder Woman, though, go ahead.
No, Wonder Woman trailer was released, and interestingly enough, it's a prequel to Batman vs. Superman, where it talks about more of her involvement in World War II, it looks like.
Yeah, and yesterday when I first saw it, I said, that's kind of dumb that they're doing it that way. But the more I thought about it last night and today, I'm excited for it still, and I think it's actually a really smart move, because we didn't get a whole lot of information about Wonder Woman and Batman.
There was the, like, one or two pictures of her in World War II, and Bruce Wayne's like, how's she this young still, And,
right, like him doing the whole Batman or World's Greatest Detective thing. But it'll make sense. Maybe she'll have a love interest that probably will die, obviously, because
it'd be like Captain America.
It won't be a lot like Captain America, but hopefully it's better, which is going to be a huge task to do.
Yeah, and with Ghostbusters last week and seeing the Wonder Woman trailer this week, there's a lot of female-led movies coming out. Mm-hmm. I know Marvel just announced their Captain Marvel, Brie Larson.
Brie Larson, yeah.
They announced her at Comic-Con, and that's going to be a huge female-led movie for Marvel, the first superhero movie that they have that's, led by a female. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess movie, yeah, because they've got Jessica Jones, but that's a TV show, so
yeah.
You're absolutely right. Man, that's crazy to think that that's the very first one. Mm-hmm. It's 2016, and we haven't had females.
We had the DC. We had Catwoman back in the
day. Oh, good God! I haven't seen the movie, but I've just heard it's horrendous. So I know to just say, "Good Lord, I'm not watching that." When someone reproaches you about Catwoman,
yeah. But it's awesome to see. All these big heroes getting big screen roles, female roles.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Jessica Jones, you talk about Jessica Jones. There's trailers for for Luke Cage, the Netflix series, and Iron Fist, and Defenders.
Defenders.
More of a teaser, but still.
Yeah. I'm excited for all of that because they haven't misstepped yet on the TV shows.
No.
They've been really good.
No, and Daredevil season 3.
Season 2 of Daredevil, we have a friend, Chris, who is just literally the biggest Daredevil fan I know.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like 2 as much as he liked 1, but but it was because Punisher is his number 2 guy.
Mm-hmm. He loves those street level guys.
Yeah. He said that he didn't like Punisher very well. But then I said to him, I brought a very good point up that I thought of. I said, this is year 1 Punisher, though. This is Punisher that was tricked into trying to kill Spider-Man. This is that Punisher. He's not figured out how to be Punisher yet. He's still figuring that out. Mm-hmm. And of course, at the end of the season, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it yet, but it's on Netflix, so I don't know why you haven't watched it. He finally gets to wear that skull and kind of signifies that, hey, I'm the Punisher now.
Yeah, and he finds that cache of weapons that his old gangster had or whatever that he finally killed.
Yeah, his friend that kind of turned on him in a way.
Yeah, all the weapons. So yeah, definitely now he's the Punisher, no longer Frank Castle.
And he gets his own show now too. That's been announced.
Yeah,
I don't know much about it, but
they haven't showed anything so far, but just announced it.
I'm happy to hear that he is getting his own show because I mean he was fantastic in The Walking Dead. I was mad actually that Shane was killed off. I'm not even going to say spoiler alert. Shane was killed off at the end of season 2. I thought that was way too early.
Way too late if you read the comics.
Yeah, because he died like at the beginning.
Like
you told
the
me
second issue or maybe the first, but
I think he died way too early in the TV show. I thought they could have done so much more with his character.
But yeah, I think Marvel's doing a really good job with getting content on Netflix. I think they're kind of on the forefront of saying, okay, we're not going to go through networks because a lot of people don't have TV.
Yeah.
Most people get all their content streaming now. So I think that's a good move on their part.
Here's a question for you. So you know how Disney's getting this, and this is really going off of the schedule here that we had, but you know how Disney is having like a streaming service of their own?
Oh, yeah?
You heard about that?
No, I haven't.
Oh. Supposedly, I've heard this rumor on the internet. Disney's getting a streaming service of their own. Do they put Marvel stuff on there too? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I guess you couldn't because technically Daredevil is Netflix
exclusive. All that stuff is. I think Disney would be smart to partner with Netflix actually, instead of trying to make their own.
Yeah.
But that's me. That's me as a consumer, not wanting to pay more.
You'd pay if offered.
Here's your Netflix. Here's Netflix and Netflix Plus.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Would you pay $2 or $3 extra a month?
Yeah, probably. Actually,
I would too.
But I don't want to have two different things I have to switch to.
Yeah, I already have enough.
Yeah, if it was all on Netflix, that'd be great.
Netflix, Hulu Plus, Amazon Prime, WWE Network, HBO Go, or Now, or whatever it is. I have all those things, and it's just like, good Lord, just can I have these all? Oh, and Vudu too, I guess if you want to count that.
Yeah, Vudu.
But if all these apps, I'm like, can we just put everything on one so I don't have to mess with it and just make one favorites list? Something I didn't get to say that we skimmed past, and I don't want to forget saying this. I was talking about Wonder Woman possibly having a love interest. It seems like with the dude that played. In Star
Chris
Trek.
Pine.
Yeah, Chris Pine. I couldn't think of his name. Obviously, he's going to die. I mean, that's going to happen because
or he could be a very, very old man.
Because we're going to set up the love interest between Bruce and her Diana, right?
Yeah, Diana and Bruce. Yeah.
I hope so, anyways. Because the first Batman versus Superman, every scene that those two were in. Not only because they're the only two interesting main characters in the movie, but every scene they're in together, I'm like, please, romance. Not that I'm a big romance buff, but seeing them together and the thing that they had in the, I don't know about comics, but certainly in the animated show, they kind of had a romance thing going on, and I hope that they capitalize on that and remember that for the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't care one way or another about
You
that.
don't care. You just want to see Batman in the gang beat people up.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I mean, if it's, I don't know. To me, I think Batman has too many love interests.
Well, I think that in this universe, this is his last chance of a love interest. Because everyone else is dead. Not to be bleak about it, but it seems like everyone else is dead or all that crap's happened already.
Yeah, I mean, you could be. I don't know if, Selena Kyle or...
And this is the only love interest that actually makes sense. Somebody that's more powerful than him, that knows who he is and accepts who he is, and they met on their own terms. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. Last one I saw that was just recently released was the trailer for, I think it's called Kong Skull Island.
I believe this is a reboot, right?
Absolutely is a reboot. Yes.
Tom Hiddleston.
I had no interest in this at all. None. And then a month ago when I heard, probably more than a month ago actually, when I heard about it, I heard that it was actually building up to a Kong versus Godzilla.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people aren't excited about that, but like
I am.
Like I said before, I really liked the Godzilla movies growing up. I actually watched both versions. I didn't know if you knew. The old Godzilla versus King Kong, or King Kong versus Godzilla, wherever you lived at, there were two versions of that movie. If you're in Japan, Godzilla won.
Oh, it was the same studio?
Same movie, same studio.
Oh, good lord.
But there's two versions of the movies for different audiences. If you're in Japan, Godzilla won, and if you're in America, King Kong won.
Was one of them just defeated, or did one of them die in each one?
No, they just got defeated, I think.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. But yeah, there's two different versions of that movie. So yeah, I watched both of them when I was growing up.
To be fair with this, and we can kind of have, if we have people commenting on both sides, we can have a discussion further in comments and an ongoing thing with this. Who do you think wins in a fight? Because I don't see Kong standing a single chance against Godzilla if it's me. Because there are so many reasons that Godzilla could take him out, I think.
Yeah, from this trailer though, from the Skull Island trailer, it looks like they've scaled up King Kong.
He looks huge.
Yeah.
I mean, and Kong's always been huge, but
they've scaled him up quite a bit too.
His head looks like the size of the last King Kong.
Yeah, to possibly have a chance to fight against Godzilla.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was trying to say before, Tom Hiddleston, I didn't know anything about the cast till I saw the
Yeah,
trailer.
and I was impressed.
Tom Hiddleston, John Goodman, Sam Jackson.
Yep. Sam Jackson seems to be maybe an antagonist or just kind of a antagonistic, anti-hero, I guess. Tom Hiddleston obviously looks like you're a protagonist, and I think based upon the attire that John Goodman is wearing, I think he's taking on the role of the film director in this movie. I think anyway. I don't know what they're there for.
I thought he was reprising his role from Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah, there you go. Walt. He just has a hat on.
Yeah, he's Walt.
No. He lost his sunglasses, so he wears the hat, and he's like, "Man, this things have really changed since then."
But yeah, that movie looks really good. I'm definitely gonna go watch it.
I think so. I'm not super excited yet, but when I think about this leading up to Kong versus Godzilla, I think that I'm obligated, whether I'm not excited or whatever, I'm obligated to at least see this movie. So it'll have my money. It already has my money. We don't have a lot more to talk about. We're really excited for tonight's wrestling thing. Battleground, WWE Battleground today, the 24th of July. We did start yesterday. We recorded our very first Let's Play for the channel.
Yep, Let's Play Buffet. We did Turtles in Time for Super Nintendo, the tried and true classic to kind of kickstart our Let's Play videos.
And while I was trying to pander to the audience, Tommy went and picked Donatello, so I was pretty upset about that. But we made do with whoever else there was.
No,
I've
know
never
any
had
of
to
the
play.
Turtles.
Huh?
He doesn't know any of
No, I know the Turtles. I'm just saying I don't know how to play as the Turtles in that game if you're not Donatello, because I don't know that I've ever played as anyone but Donatello. But I guess Leonardo, because of the reach thing, he's your number 2, and then Mikey, and then Raph, which you would think Raph would be your number 1 go-to in a beat-em-up game.
I would think so, but it's all about reach and those old beat 'em ups. So
Wednesday we'll have our next wrestling show. We'll talk about
Thursday.
Oh yeah, duh. We did change that from Wednesday to Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be talking about a wrap-up of tonight. We'll be talking about Monday Night Raw, SummerSlam, NXT, and CWC. I got them all in the first try. And then Thursday.
SummerSlam, though.
Did I say SummerSlam?
Yeah, SmackDown.
Good God.
Raw, SmackDown.
I almost did it.
NXT, and CWC. And
Started with an
Battleground.
S. S's. And of course, I'll be going to see Jason Bourne either Thursday or Friday. Try to get Tommy in the comments. Try to say, hey, Tom, watch these 3 movies and then go with Jake on this weekend.
I have little interest of seeing it because I haven't watched any of the Bourne movies at all. None of them.
They're very good. And Chris, since we've already mentioned you once in this, tell Tom to watch these freaking movies. So I don't have anything else to say. I'm just really disappointed that you haven't seen those movies.
You still haven't seen Godfather, so.
Yeah, I have not. Thanks a lot. Like that's not even comparable. Like
No.
That's not going to get you crucified. Me saying that about Jason Bourne.
No.
Now everyone's going to hate me for not seeing The Godfather yet.
So rest of the world and also Chris, tell Jake to watch the Godfather movies.
All right. Now that now that I'm a marked man, there's a target on the back of my head. I think that's going to do it for tonight. So I've been Jake.
And I've also been and still am Tommy. And you better not lay a finger on my Butterfinger.